Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Loose Thoughts Podcast. Woohoo! New episode! First, I would like to say I'm so sorry for the delay in this week's episode. Life happens. This week has been, my throat. Sorry. This week has been I don't want to say difficult, but I've been so tired every day this week. But low-key, that's kind of because of my self-destructive habits, and I've been going to sleep literally, I think past midnight, around 1, 2 a.m. every night this week. And I wake up at 6, 7 a.m. because I have to go to work. And so I'm doing it to myself, honestly. But I didn't have time to record the episode Sunday in Japan. I usually record my episodes Sundays in Japan, and then I spend that evening editing it and all the post-production stuff. And then I'll schedule it to release Monday mornings in Japan. And then it's start your week with the new Loose Thoughts episode. So yeah, this week I was busy Sunday, and so I didn't have time to record it. And I was going to do it Monday night and just have it be because if I would have recorded it Monday night and then posted it Monday night, then it would have only been a few hours late, which doesn't really matter, I guess. It'll technically be Monday in the States. So then I can still say, start your week with a new Loose Thoughts episode. But low-key, I don't know what happened on Monday. But clearly, the episode didn't get out because I'm recording it now on Thursday. But like I said, whatever, life happens. And I know I said before, I didn't really want to make the podcast, give myself a set schedule. Because look at me now. If I give myself a set schedule, I would not meet those deadlines. Tee-hee. Anyways, so for today's episode, I just wanted to talk. Just ramble away as I usually do, but not for as long, because the last episode, if you listen to that entire episode, you are a real one. That episode was almost 2 hours long. It was a little bit under 2 hours. I think an hour 56 minutes, which is kind of crazy. Sorry, me and the besties, we were just having a grand old time talking about anime. But go listen to that episode. Go listen to every single second of it. But no, if you did listen to all of that, then I appreciate it. This episode, I'm going to try to keep way shorter. Maybe around 30 minutes. We'll see. Because sometimes I just be going off on tangents. But yeah. Also, I'll try not to say as often. Usually I edit it out. But low-key, like I was saying before, I'm really tired today, and I don't feel like doing a whole lot of editing. So let's hope I don't say, like that. Anyways, so today there's no set topic. I'm just going to be talking. I have my good old notes app pulled up right in front of me. Loose Thoughts episode 9. Am I crazy? That's going to be the title for today's episode. Actually, I might not talk about the thing that I wanted to talk about that made me sound crazy, just because I already got outside opinions on it. I guess I can touch on it, but that we're not going to start with that. The first thing I want to talk about is Kesha's new album. If you don't know who Kesha is, then you shouldn't be listening to my podcast. No, I'm joking. Anyways, Kesha is how can I describe Kesha? She's a pop star in America. Did my mic pop when I said pop star? Oopsies. I don't think it did. When I record, I record on Audacity, and I just watch what are they called? The wavelengths of my voice as I'm recording. And then when I said pop star, it got really large. So I hope it didn't pop. If it did, then I don't know, this mic cover is a sham, because I got it to stop the popping And if it's still popping, I want my money back. Anyways, Kesha is a pop star in America. She debuted with TikTok in 2009. Kana? I don't know. I think 2009. I was about to ask Siri. I don't really care that much. This isn't an informational podcast. Anyways, Kesha just released her most recent album titled Period, literally just the period, on July 4th, 2025, which was 6 days ago, almost a week ago. I don't know when I'll post this, probably as soon as I finish recording. But it has been a week, and I want to talk about it because I have been a Kesha fan literally since 2010. Yeah, let's go with that. I've been a Kesha fan for as long as I can remember. And if you know Kesha, then you probably know about the legal battle she has been facing, or was facing. She's not in it anymore. But for a large chunk of her career, she was enveloped, engaged. What's the word I should use? She was entwined. She was involved. That's the word. My bad. She was involved with the legal battle with her producer. Is that what he was? I don't want to name him because F that guy. If you want to learn about it, you can Google it on your own time, but we're not giving him the time of day. Anyways, she had accused him of like abusing her, and abusing and assaulting her. I literally said I wasn't gonna say I've just said twice in under a minute. Anyways, it's because when I'm trying to recall thoughts and memories, I say but it's annoying. Like whenever I go back and listen to the audio, whenever I'm like it's so frustrating. I'm like, shut the hell up. Anyways, so yeah, and then she was under that guy's label for like her entire career until recently. She finally left, not last year, in 2023, she released her last contractual obligation. What? How would I say that? Her last album that was contractually obligated from her contract. So like she had a contract and it was like you have to produce how many albums was it? 5 with this record label. And luckily for her last 3, she wasn't like working directly with that producer, but it's still his record label. And so those last 3 albums were still with that record label. And then recently in 2023, she released the last one, which that one was Gag Order. Yes, because I remember she released it like right before I came to Japan. So she released that one in 2023, and then she was released from that label, and then now she just released her first album as a free woman from her own record label. She's an independent artist now, and it's labeled Period, and it's a pop masterpiece. It's one of the greatest albums ever. You should go listen to it. Should I rank my favorite songs? I won't rank my favorite songs, but I'll talk about my favorites. Recently, my favorite right now is Red Flag. If you listen to any song from the album, listen to that one. Also listen to Boy Crazy. I love Boy Crazy. And then I really like Glow. I think those are my top 3. Red Flag, Boy Crazy, and Glow. It's a good album. And she just released like a deluxe version too, which is kind of crazy because like the album came out a week ago and then she released the deluxe version on Tuesday. So I think that was like 4 days after the album came out. But there's a track on the deluxe version called Trash Man, and I've really been liking Trash Man too. So go listen to Period by Kesha on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you listen to your music on. Go buy the album on iTunes. Go download the album on Spotify. Go to your local record store and buy the vinyl. I wonder if I'll be able to find the vinyl in like Tower Records. in a few weeks. But I'm also going back to America in August. So if I no, but then I can't bring the vinyl from America. That would be mendokusai. That would be bothersome to try and do. So I don't know if I'll get the vinyl now anyways. Maybe sometime in the future. Anyways, moving on. Do I want to talk about K-pop Demon Hunters? No. Not really. Um there I go saying it again. K-pop Demon Hunters is a movie about K-pop Demon Hunters. It low key, if I'm being honest, I watched it last week maybe. It was kind of mid. Like when it came out, it was all over like my Twitter feed and I was like, "Oh, I really want to watch this." Even like before when the trailers were coming out, I was like, "I do really want to watch this movie. It looks interesting." I listen to K-pop Demon Hunters. That's a cool concept. It looked interesting. But then the movie itself, not to say I did enjoy it. Like I'm not gonna be here and be like the movie was trash. It was I wouldn't call it trash. It was enjoyable. I like the music from it. Obviously the album, like the soundtrack is like dominating the charts right now. I don't really know why, cause like it's not the greatest thing in the world. The tracks are like kind of generic. Like they're nothing special, at least in my opinion. And that's coming from someone who has really what I call my taste mid. I don't know. I feel like I have low standards. Like I'll kind of listen to anything. Like if it's catchy and it has a nice beat, then I'll listen to it. And lo and behold, that is like the most popular song, Soda Pop. It's catchy and it has a nice beat. And that's why I like it. And everyone else does. Cause it is a good song. Or it's a catchy song. I literally in the movie, one of the girls, she's like, it is, what does she call it? Annoyingly catchy, something like that. I don't know. Um, but yeah, this story was kind of, it's like, how can I explain it? It's kind of like generic, like heroes save the day type movie, which I guess, I don't know. I guess that's expected. It's like a Netflix movie. It's probably geared more towards kids because it's animated and I think everything animated needs to be for kids, but that's tea for another day. If you want to watch it, go watch it. It's not the end of the world if you don't watch it. Like I said, the songs are fun. They're catchy. I like in one song, what's it called? How How It's Done. That's like the one of the first songs they play in the movie. I think it's literally the first one. How It's Done, yeah. But then there's a line where one of the members, she's like, "Fit check from a napalm era." And like the way she says it, I don't know. It's kind of like an earworm. It's a stim. I say it when I'm stimming, my vocal stim. There's another one in Takedown. Oh, did you hear that? I'm not trying to get copyrighted. I accidentally started playing it on my phone. My sound's all the way up. But the Takedown song, which is like in the movie, they're trying to make a song to like defeat the demons and they come out with Takedown. And I look at like the song and I really like the intro because the one character, her name is Zoe. She's like the main rapper. I really like her voice and like her tone when she like sings or raps. And so she does like the intro. And what does she say? She's like, "So sweet, so easy on the eyes. Na 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 na." But I really like how she says it, so I really like that intro. Can you hear it if I play it? Let's see. I don't think my mic's picking it up. No, yeah, it's not. She's like, "So sweet, so easy on the eyes, but hideous on the inside." What is it? Spent your whole life spreading lies, but you can't hide, baby. Nice try. uh K-pop Demon Hunters, don't copyright me. I'm sorry. Anyways, K-pop Demon Hunters, it was fun, I guess. Moving on to my next topic. Am I crazy? Okay, I guess I'll talk a little bit about it. because I already brought it up. I can't just not talk about it now. I hate when people do that. When they're like, "Oh, I want to tell you something," and then they're like, "Actually, never mind." Like if someone did that to me, I would probably beat them to a pulp. I just took a sip of my juice. Anyway, so my thing that I was kind of, I don't want to say going through, because it's not like a big issue, but it was kind of driving me a little bit crazy. So I have this really good friend. I'm not going to name drop them. I almost said their gender, but I feel like that's giving away too much information. So I have this friend, and I would consider us pretty good friends. We've hung out pretty often. They've been to my apartment. They've spent the night, blah, blah, blah. And so the last time we hung out, they had came to my town and we went to a festival together. And then they spent the night. We got dinner, blah, blah, blah. We hung out, blah, blah, blah. And then that was about like 2 months ago now. 2 months ago. And we haven't hung out since. But up until that point, we would text like pretty frequently. Like, like as friends do. We wouldn't text like all day, every day, but we would text like every other day and like send like a few messages like here and there. Just like, I don't know, just like talking, like as friends do. Simple stuff. And basically after that, after we hung out and went to the festival, things kind of like shifted a little bit, which granted, let me give some like, how can I say, some like not context, but like some extra information. So in April and May, that's like the beginning of the new fiscal year in Japan, like the fiscal year, the school year, like everything new starts in April. And so this friend, they have literally like just started like graduate school and everything. And that festival was during like a holiday week. It's called Golden Week. Low-key, I probably talked about it in one of my past episodes. I don't know. So they had like free time and we hung out and went to that festival because it was a holiday week. And so like after that, it's like back to like the normal school and work schedule, I guess. And so they recently started graduate school. They're recently doing job hunting, which is like a whole thing. That's like Japanese culture, is like this whole like job hunting culture. It's really different from America. I don't really know how to explain it because I feel like in America, it's just like, oh, like maybe when you're in college, you like do a few internships and whatnot. Maybe not everyone does internships. I didn't do internships, but maybe you'll do some internships and then you get your degree. And then once you get to your degree, then you start like job hunting or whatever. But in Japan, from what I've noticed from some of my friends that were still in university or like recently graduated, blah, 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 they'll do job hunting like in their last 2 years of university. And basically, it's like mandatory. Like you have to get it done. And then like right when you graduate the following month, because you graduate in March, and then in April, you'll start working at whatever company. And so that's like the pipeline that a lot of Japanese people do. And so it's like a really busy time and stressful because you have to like find a job, blah, blah, blah. So he's doing that. Plus he's in graduate. Ooh. Did you catch that? I hope you didn't. Anyways, plus they're in graduate school. And so, sorry. They're in graduate school, so they have like assignments, and like graduate school is probably so busy, so time consuming. I didn't go to graduate school, but I can only imagine what graduate school is like. And so they're doing that on top of the job hunting, and then they're also working. So yeah, it's a really busy time for them. And so because of that, we started talking like less and less. And so recently, these past 2 months, they've only been sending like one message a week. So say they'll message on like a Wednesday, and then I'll respond like a little bit like right after, not like right after, but maybe like a few hours after. Within the same day, I'll respond, and then they won't respond for like another week. So they'll respond the following Wednesday. And that was kind of like bothering me a little bit because I was like, at first I thought I had done something wrong, like when we hung out at the festival. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, did I say something? Did I do something? Like, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what did I do? Do you hate me? Like, I was doing all those overthinking things because I'm an overthinker. That's what I do. It's not good. And I try to acknowledge that, and I try to not let those thoughts affect me. But at the same time, it's like inevitable. Like it always happens. And so I was thinking that, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Like I did something. They hate me now. But then we had like one conversation, and they were just like, yeah, I've been really busy. Like, if I could, I would give you all my free time, blah, blah, blah. And they said that. And I was like, oh my gosh, they don't actually hate me, blah, blah, blah. And I talked about it with another, this person is Japanese. And so I talked about it with another Japanese person, which I thought was really helpful because they kind of gave me the Japanese perspective from things. And they said that, oh, this person is doing like job hunting in graduate school. They're probably just really busy. Try not to think too much about it, because if they really didn't want to talk to you, or if they really didn't like you, they wouldn't text you at all. And I was like, ooh, you right. Because then in my like American brain, you always see people, especially like on Twitter, they're always like, oh, no one's like ever too busy for you. Like they can send you at least like a message being like, hey, I'm busy. And so I was thinking like that. And I was like, bruh, like one message a week is crazy. Like do better. But then that's obviously like the Americanized way of thinking, the American culture, I guess. And so hearing like another Japanese person being like, oh, they're probably just busy, like don't worry about it. Like I know they're really busy. That's a busy time for university students. And I was like, ugh, you're so right. Like Japanese people probably just think about social interactions so much differently than like Americans do. And so, no, yeah, before I was like, oh my gosh, like am I crazy for thinking this way? Like, oh, like they could at least like send messages more frequently. But then I was like, no, it's fine. Like it's fine. Like at the end of the day, we're still besties. They're living their life, and I'll be like rooting for them in my I'll be in their corner rooting for them. Okay, have you ever heard someone be like, I'm always in your corner? Like that's what I'm like. Like I'm supporting them, blah blah blah. Do your best. I hope you're not listening to this, but do your best. um but yeah, so that's what I was going to talk about. That was kind of like the Spark Notes version. I was going to give a little bit more details until I talked with that other Japanese person. Um, but yeah, so am I crazy? Let me know what you think. I don't think I'm crazy anymore. But yeah, um, this week has also, no, I shouldn't say this week. It was more so Tuesday. I was kind of going through it on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, there was like how can I describe it? It's kind of like a lockdown drill in America, but it's also like totally different. Oh, what is it called in Japanese? Something something kunden kana. I don't know. But it's basically like a drill with like the teachers and like the police come, and like you run through what you would do if there was like an intruder, basically, or if like someone was on the premises and they're not supposed to be there. That's literally an intruder. But no, so yeah, so I remember doing this last year at my elementary school, at one of the elementary schools that I went to, but it was so different from the one we did Tuesday. So the one from last year, it was like this cop, he acted as like a guy, and he was on like the outside of the school, and he was like banging on the windows, and the principal was talking to him, and it was like that. But then this time, the guy was already in the school. And so I think in my head, I was expecting it to be like the one last year. And so when it had started, like, because we were in the office, and then I think they were like, oh, like, we're going to go do it now. And then so they were like, Zion, like, come on. Like, and they handed me like this staff thing. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a staff to like trap the guy. You would like wrap it around the leg and it like traps the leg. And they like handed me that and I was like, "Oh, okay, what the heck?" And so I walk out into like the hallway, me and some of the other teachers, and the guy, like the police officer, that's the actor, he's already talking to the principal. And I was under the impression he was just like explaining what was going to happen. And so I didn't think the scenario had already started. Spoiler alert, the scenario had already started, but I didn't know this. And so I'm just kind of like standing there. They're like talking in Japanese, blah, blah, blah. I'm like standing there holding like the pole. And like the guy, he starts being like, he's like, oh, like, what are you like doing? Like, all I hear is like, iranai, iranai, which that means like, you don't need that. And because there was another teacher on the other side, he had like another pole. And so the police guy was saying like, oh, you don't need those. And I was like, oh, he's like telling us like what to do in the situation. And he's saying like, we don't need those things. And in my head, I was like, oh, maybe they're outdated or whatever. Like maybe he's telling us to get like new weapons or whatever. And so that's so silly. So I'm just like standing there, like listening to what they're saying. And then he's like, oh, like, go put those away. And he literally says, like, oi, dure do hair, put that away. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, and he was being like really like aggressive and like abrasive. Like he literally said like, hey, dread hair. Um, which is like really rude. Like a normal Japanese person wouldn't say that unless you were like ready to fight. But he like called out to me like that and he was like, go put that away. And I was like, what the hell? And in the moment, I didn't think I like reacted like very visibly. But later I'll talk about this too. But the principal said she noticed like my facial expression, which I thought was really funny because my mom has also said before my face is really expressive, which I don't pick up on. And I was like, oh, that was kind of awkward. But anyways, in the moment, he had said that, and I was like, what the heck? But I was like, okay. And like the nurse who was standing next to me too, she was like, oh, like let's put these like out of sight. And I'm like trying to understand the situation. And I was just like, okay. And so me and the nurse, we put like the sticks in it's like a little nurse's office because we were standing by the entrance. And so there's like a nurse's office right next to the entrance. And we like put the staffs in there. And then I just like walked back out and I was kind of like, okay. Because in my head, the police officer is still explaining what we're going to do. And I'm just like, okay, he didn't have to be mean to me. Like, what the fuck? And so they're still like talking, blah, blah, blah. And then the nurse is like, oh, like, we need this again. Like, pull this back out. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I like take it back out. Um, Everyone had kind of like moved a little bit down the hall. And so I like go back and like, I grab the pole and then I walk back to the like where the guy was standing, where the officer was with the principal. And like there's another teacher with another pole on the other side. And then a third teacher comes down the stairs with another pole. And so there's three of us with the poles. And then the guy, like, he keeps saying, like, oh, you don't need those. You don't need those. Like, what do you have those for? And at this point, I'm so confused. I turn around to like one of the teachers next to me and I'm like, do I not need this? And she's like, oh no, you do need it. You do need it. She's like, waruhito, waruhito, which means like a bad person. And then at that point, a little bit after that, or no, literally, it wasn't until it ended. Cause then he like pulls out the fake knife, and he starts like swinging it, and like the principal, she had like a can of like mace or whatever, and then she like pretend sprays it, blah blah blah, and like the police officer comes in, and he's like, okay, finish, and it was in that moment I was like, oh, this was the role play. Like this was a scenario, and I probably looked so stupid. I was like, oh my god, I'm literally the dumbest person on the planet. And I was like, what if this was real? And I was just standing there, and like the police officer, he came in, and he was just like talking. I wasn't paying attention to what he was saying because I was so hung up on the fact that I'm just stupid. But in my defense, no one said it was starting. They could have said it had started, but no, yeah. And then after the fact, at the end of the day, I was like in the kitchen area, and then the principal came up to me, and she was like, so earlier, I just wanted to let you know that those things the officer said, he didn't really mean it. I noticed your face, but it was just pretend. And I was like, oh yeah, I figured. I was a little bit confused at the beginning, but afterwards I realized it was just practice. And she was like, yeah. He like told me to shut up too, and I was a little bit surprised, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. But no, yeah. So because that had kind of like bothered me, because it was, I don't know what I was gonna say, but no, it had bothered me obviously, because I was like, hey yo, why is this guy so rude? Then I realized he was acting, and I was like, damn, he really played the part. Give that man an Oscar. Nah, fuck that guy. Cause he still didn't have to do that. He could have acted nicely. You know what I mean? Like, and no, cause like thinking about it, to like single me out and like just like single out the foreigner who like 9 times out of 10 probably doesn't know what's going on. That's kind of crazy. He saw me as the weakest link, and he was like, all right, I'm gonna go for this. And I was like, damn. But yeah, fuck that guy. Anyways, and then also on Tuesday, another teacher, she had passed out these passed out these plums. And earlier in the day, I saw her washing them, and I was like, oh, she probably picked them, or I don't know where the hell she got these damn plums from. But she was washing them in the kitchen earlier in the day, and then at the end of the day, after the students went home, she like passed them out to the teachers. And I was like, ooh, plums. I like plums. And so I take a plum, and I'm just sitting there at my computer. I take a bite, a tiny little bite out of the plum, and I'm like, it's a plum. And I continue working on my computer. I don't remember what I was doing. I was working on my computer, and I take another little bite. And so I'm like literally just like sitting at my desk. The plum is in my right hand, and I'm like typing away, looking at my computer, and I'm typing with my left hand, and the plum is like in front of my face. I'm holding it in front of my face. And so like out the tiny corner of my eye, I like see something crawling on the plum. Or I just see something moving on the plum. Or I just see like a tiny speck out the corner of my eye. And so I look down, and do you know what the hell came out of the plum? A goddamn worm. And look, I took a picture of it. I don't even know if it was a worm or if it was a maggot. And then I also just like looked like into the plum too, and it was like kind of like brown and stuff on the inside. And at the moment I just froze. I was like, oh, hell no. I know damn well a worm did not just come out of this plum that I was eating. And like I didn't really know what to do. And I kind of felt bad because like everyone else was like gobbling up the plums. They were like, oishi, these are so good. And I was like, of course, me, of all fucking people, I'm already having a bad day because the stupid police officer. And of course, there was a freaking maggot in my plum. And so at that point, I was just like, you know what? I just like got up, I got a tissue and I wrapped it in it and I threw it in the garbage. And I didn't say anything because because it was like this little old lady that like gave out the plums and I didn't want to be like, hey, there was a worm in the plum you gave me. Because also, like, how would she react? She'd probably just be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Do you want another one? But then, like, no, I don't want another one. Because what if the other one has a worm in it? You know what I mean? And then I also didn't want to tell anyone else because they were all gobbling up those plums. And I was like, and I was also kind of sad because I wanted to enjoy a plum, but I couldn't. And I was just like, And so I took a picture of it. And after that, I threw it out. And I was like, rest in peace. But that was kind of like sick. Like, Loki, I like think about it now, 2 days later. And I'm still like, oh, that's disgusting. I almost died. I almost consumed a maggot. And I mean, people eat like those mealworm things all the time. And like they don't do anything. It would have been dissolved by my stomach acid. But like just the thought is nasty. You know? Like the thought of consuming bugs. Bugs shouldn't be consumed. Literally the other day too, I came across a TikTok account of this Japanese guy that just eats bugs. Like the video that I saw, he ate like it was some type of beetle and literally like he put it in his mouth and like it made the loudest crunch and I was like that's disgusting. And I scrolled through the comments and the comments one of them was like you need to stop eating bugs, like you have to stop. And I was like is this a normal thing? And so I scrolled through his page and yeah, this motherfucker is out here eating bugs. I should have reported him. TikTok, take that account down. Like actually, what the hell? Japanese people I was gonna say Japanese people are crazy, but can I say that? I don't mean it in like an offensive way. I just mean like people are crazy. Everyone's crazy, not just Japanese people. Don't cancel me. I'm sorry. Everyone's crazy. I'm crazy. Literally, that's gonna be the title. Should it be like, am I crazy or is everyone else crazy? Or everyone is crazy, not just me. That's the title. Everyone is crazy, not just me. Boom. You guys just witnessed greatness. Period. And just some more little updates. I made Line stickers. Line is like a texting application. I almost said texting appuri. It's a texting app that mostly everyone uses in Japan instead of like iMessage. And there are like these little stamps and stickers you can use when texting. And recently I found out you can make your own. And so, of course, me being the narcissistic asshole that I am, I'm joking. That was a joke. I'm not narcissistic. I might have a little God complex, but I'm not narcissistic. But me being me, I made stickers of myself. Of course, because like I found out I could make my own stickers. Why the hell not? You know what I mean? And so I made them. And then this was my first mistake. I sent them in the group chat. The group chat. Let me speak. I sent them in the group chat with the other ALTs in my town, which if you listen to the Japan episode, you already know I got beef with some of them. But I sent them in the group chat and then one of them like reacted in a way I wasn't expecting them to. Like I expected them to just be like, ha ha ha, what the hell, Zion made Line stickers, that's funny. Cause it's funny. They're funny stickers. But he was like, oh my gosh, how did you do that? These are amazing. I'm gonna gift these to everyone. And he literally did just that. And I was like, oh my God. That's not what I was expecting. I was not expecting everyone in town to have these Line stickers of me. But now they do. And now even some of the people that I don't fuck with have them. And no, and one of the people that I don't like, I had said something in the chat. So my birthday is on Monday next week on the 14th. And one of my coworkers, I'm really close with them. and we've been talking about Pokemon cards, and we want to battle. And so he was at a card shop this past weekend, and I guess he got it in his mind to get me Pokemon cards for my birthday. I also helped him with something that wasn't school related. He had like this presentation, and he asked me to put subtitles on a video, and so I did that, and he was really grateful. And so he got me Pokemon cards for that, and so I had sent them in the group chat. I like took a picture of them and sent them in the group chat. Low-key, it was to kind of flex. That probably sounds terrible, but the people that I don't like, not even like the teachers like them. Is that shady? Let me not be shady. But anyways, I sent them in the group chat, and I was like, oh my gosh, one of my JTEs got me Pokemon cards. And they had the girl that I don't like, she had sent, so I have a sticker. It's like me cheesing hard as hell, a big ass smile. And then on top of my forehead, it's like the words, I am happy. And then and she sent that one in the group chat, and I was like, bruh. I was like, why the fuck do you have my stickers? Delete that shit now. I obviously didn't say that, but that was definitely the thought that I had, because I was like, public enemy number one, and she has my stickers, and who knows who she's sending those to. You know what I mean? Ugh, I can't stand her. Anyways, I made line stickers, and low-key my students were talking about the junior high third years. So they're like high school freshmen in like American grade system, but in Japan they're third years in junior high school. And low-key some of them found them, because I think if you search my name in the app store, they'll pop up. And I was like, damn it. But yeah, they're funny. Anything else that I have to get off my chest? Bro, fuck Nintendo. F Nintendo. So, if you know, the Switch 2 dropped recently, a month ago, in June. And they have two versions. They have a Japanese only version and basically a global version. And in Japan, the version that they sell in stores is the Japanese only version, which I guess makes sense, whatever. And then they only have the global version online on the Nintendo store. But you can't just go to the website and buy it. You have to apply for this lottery, which I've mentioned this to my friends before. Japan has so many things that are like lottery based. It's kind of annoying because, which on one hand I understand, but at the same time I'm like, bro, I just want to buy this thing. Can you just let me buy it? Like, why does it have to be a lottery? Like, it's like that with the Pokemon cards, which recently I applied for. There's a new Mega Evolution set that's coming out in August, and I applied for the lottery to like buy one of the boxes, and I won one of the items. So there were like a bunch of different items. There was like the box for the Gardevoir, because it's a Mega Gardevoir set and a Mega Lucario set. And there's a box for the Mega Gardevoir set, a box for the Lucario set, and there's like I think it's called like a premium box. And so it has 10 packs from each set and then some like other stuff. And I applied for all three. I lost the one for like the regular boxes, but I won the one for the premium box, which I was like, yay, I guess. No, I was like happy about that. But so there's a lottery for the Nintendo Switch, and I didn't apply for the first one because I don't know why I didn't. I think when I was like, okay, let me go apply, it had already closed, and I was like, damn, I guess I'll just wait for the next one. And so I've been like checking the website every day for these past couple weeks, and it was like, okay, we're gonna have a new lottery in early July. And I was like, okay, bet. So literally, I think this was Tuesday too. So this was Tuesday morning. So my Tuesday was already off to a bad start. So on Tuesday morning, I wake up, I get ready for work, and I'm like, you know what? Let me check the Nintendo website. And so I flip open my iPad, I go to the Nintendo website, I see it's like, oh, new lottery started for the Nintendo Switch 2. And I was like, oh, bet, let me apply for this lottery. And like, mind you, this is not a normal lottery. Like, there are conditions you must meet to even be eligible to apply for this lottery. And so the conditions are like, what are they? I know one of them is like, you need to have been subscribed to Nintendo Online for at least a year, which I feel is a really long time. And if you're a part of like a Nintendo Online family plan, that doesn't even apply. Like, you have to be like a sole provider, if that makes sense. That was one of the conditions. Your Nintendo account needs to be like switched to Japanese, which I switched mine to Japanese. You need to, what were they? Let me just look it up. Cue the filler. Do 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 do. Bro, where is it? Main unit and peripherals. I'm on the website. It's taking a really long time to load. Is it because my VPN is on? That might be it. Returning the VPN off. I feel like this happened the last time. Oh, it definitely was the VPN. I feel like this happened the last time I tried to Google something while I was recording an episode. The Switch 2 isn't popping up. Special feature Donkey Kong. Introducing games. Bro. It's literally... Oh, here it is. Sorry. Lottery applications. What are the requirements? Bro, why don't they want to give me the information? More information. Oh. Okay, application requirements. The gameplay time for the Nintendo Switch software must be at least 50 hours as of February 28th, 2025. I had that down. I have like 300 hours in Animal Crossing from the pandemic. Whatever. You must have been a member of Nintendo Switch Online for a cumulative period of 1 year or more at the time of application and be a member. Oh, and be a member at the time of application? Low key, I'm not a Nintendo Switch Online member right now. Maybe that's why it didn't work. Wait. You have applied for any of the first through fourth lottery sales at the My Nintendo store, but have never won. I think because they added this one, and it was like you have to have applied for one before. And I thought this was the reason why it didn't go through. And I was like, that's crazy because I didn't apply for the first ones. But low-key, it might be because I don't have Nintendo Online right now. You have applied for any of the first through fourth lottery sales. This is the fourth one, I believe. But then, what if I like get Nintendo Online now and then it still doesn't work? That would piss me off. But I might try that. What's the cheapest one? It's only like a month. Because I don't use Nintendo Online. I'll try that. Well, you guys saw me... saw my mistake in real time. I'm not going to edit that out because I don't feel like editing. But I think we're going to end the episode on that note because I feel a little bit silly now. So pray that I can get a Nintendo Switch 2 because I really want one so I can play through Pokemon Scarlet and Violet again and play play the new Pokemon games when they come out in October. Anyways, that is all for today's episode. I said it was going to be longer. I said it was going to be shorter, but low-key, this is still almost an hour. But it's still under an hour, so I guess that's fine. Anyways, thanks so much for making it to the end. I really appreciate it. I appreciate every second you spend listening to the Loose Thoughts podcast. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Guys, I'm an idiot. I just got Nintendo Switch Online again and I was able to apply for a Switch too. Oh my god.